function as maybe as I'm not necessarily a CEO, but like I'm an innovation slash ideas person. Like I would always make things better. Like I'm not bragging, but like I know if I grew up in Surulere,
Topha, yo, welcome to the Niger
how's it going?
conversation. This has been a long time coming. I've been trying to figure
Honestly,
out how to set this all up to talk to you, and I've been like, once I figured something out, you are the first guy I'm definitely calling, just out of
I'm hon-
res,
I'm honored.
just out of respect, and just it will be one shebe, one shebe. So I was like, yeah. So I'm really glad this is happening. I've been looking forward to this, and I hope this goes great, man.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
for the viewers, this is Mr. Well, he's not married though. Abby, yes, you're not married. You didn't
No, no,
mistakenly
no,
get married. Somewhere,
not
don't
yet.
tell me.
I'm still on the street.
Mr. Oluwatofarati, aka Topha. I call him Senator or CEO, whichever name. But thank you for joining me. And it's so far we went to school way back in Nigeria together. We've one of my longest friends. If I'm trying to figure something out, I have one crazy idea. Topha is together. I'm like, yo, hear me out. In fact, Topha designed the logo of this pod. Topha designed the logo, so that's how involved Topha and I have been, and it's great to have you here, man. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Looking forward
That's cool.
to learning more about you because I believe that there's always things to learn about people, always things to discover, and I know for sure personally that there's a lot that people can and will learn from you and get from you, and yeah, that's I'm just looking forward to that, man. Thank you for
Hopefully,
making time.
hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully, good things. Hopefully, there are good things to learn. So, not just bad
I mean,
things.
not just
Because
bad things.
I
So you
have a
may
lot of
say,
bad things and good things to say.
really, but that's good, man. That's good. I mean, it's part of life. If you're all just good, then people will be like, nah, that's just yeah, just pretending, just
That's
pretending.
fake.
Yeah, man. So
Okay.
Tofa, you know
So
the
I should do like
drill.
a full intro of
Well,
myself. Yeah.
that's what I'm just gonna say. Like, we want to know about you. We want to
Mm.
hear like the
Feels
past, the
it feels
present, and the future, and everything that's in between there.
feels like an interview because I haven't been to an interview in years. Like I've not
Yeah,
interviewed for
but
a job in years.
this is a
But
conversation.
no, no, no.
So,
I know,
but
I know. It just feels like, oh,
yeah,
what do you tell people when you actually about yourself? Okay.
yeah.
And so basically, I'm Oluwatofarati David, as you all said. Everyone calls me Tofa. I prefer to be called Oluwatofarati actually, but it's a bit of a tongue twist for those that are not Yoruba.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up in Lagos, but now I reside in Abuja, Nigeria. I'm a product designer and a fashion entrepreneur. So I'm a digital product designer, UI UX designer, and I'm a fashion entrepreneur. I don't call myself a fashion designer. I'm just a fashion entrepreneur.
Hmm.
So basically, somehow tailor by day, tech bro by night.
Hmm.
So
Yo,
what else is
Techno
there
by
about
night
me?
doesn't mean it's illegal. Though
Tech,
nobody
no,
should
it's
nobody
not
should come
illegal.
for
It's
my
not
guy.
illegal.
Nah, nah, nah.
No,
It's
I'm a product designer. Tech people don't sleep now, so we all have
yo,
difficulty sleeping, and
you got to make
I'm
that
more
time
creative.
zone money.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a lot of meetings in America with clients in America, so I do not want to tell them I'm too sleepy to have a meeting now. So I have a lot of meetings that run into like 12 a.m. my time. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's all about
Man,
me. I would assume I should have like a whole textbook about myself. Yeah, but pretty much that's everything about me.
oh wait, what? I'm having some technical difficulties here. But wait, 1 second. Can you say something?
Hello.
Okay, I lost you for like 2 seconds there. At the
Oh,
end. Yeah, but
oh,
yeah, it's I'm hoping it's just a glitch on my side, but we'll see.
oh.
I lost you for like 2 3 seconds there. That's why I was like,
Listen, I was even done
ah.
introducing myself.
But yeah, man. I you see that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you, because while we were in YCT, just me, I was just there. I was just happy to be there. We had ambitions and schooling, trying to
Yeah.
hustle and everything. But you were already thinking about the long game, like the business. Being an entrepreneur was not something that you. I don't know where you got it from, and I'm going to learn about that today. But like you're already
Okay.
into that, and you were doing that from way back then. And I've always
Yeah.
admired that about you, that the courage to do that, or the initiative to just go into that and bear the risk at that age. Yeah, I know people do it now, and it seems to be a common thing now, but it's not easy. Like, I'm just gonna give you that right now. That was one of the things that I respect about you. Like, yo, Topha is going for this. Like, nah. That's one of my biggest. I don't know. I think I can call you a role model, to be honest. Because
I'm
yeah,
just remembering. I'm just remembering we did what's it called? We did crunch fix. We were supposed to do
yeah,
crunch fix together
yo.
before you move. Like I didn't totally forgot. It was now that you're speaking on the call. I
Do you
just
want to tell
realized
people the story, or should I
it,
tell them the
it was.
story?
So let me start from the
Yeah,
beginning. How I go into
yeah,
business.
yeah.
So I think, and I think is one of the things that. So how do I explain it? So when I was young, maybe after secondary school, like so the way how Lagos, so I grew up in Lagos, as I said earlier, and we are trained by the community in Lagos. So the
Hmm.
term Egbon Adugba, I don't know if you've heard it, but like it's like a slang they
Yeah.
use online. Like it's a literal thing. Like you are not just trained by your parents, especially if you grew up where I grew up. I grew up in Surulere. So there are people you have like external influences. You're not just influenced by your parents, whether they like it or not. So it's either they allow it and they control it in a bit, like they nurture that relationship you get and ensure that it doesn't go into something bad. But like
Mm-hmm.
those external influences are there. So that's how a lot of people learn how to smoke. A lot of people start having sex and all those things. It's those external influences. And
Yeah.
it's so I think that's the problem we had from growing up. Many of us were not close to our parents. We couldn't talk to them about women. We couldn't talk to them about like our first experiences and stuff.
Man.
So my what's it called? So I had always liked money right from when I was in secondary school. I always had money. Like I so interestingly, my mom would give me money for the week. Then at some point when my mom couldn't afford to, my auntie would give me
Hmm.
money for the week. Then when my mom gives me, I'll tell my auntie that my mom gave me for the week, but she's like, nah, don't worry, I'll just still give you still. So I didn't
Oh.
used to spend my money. I had people that used to buy food. I don't know, I was probably like a sweet boy in secondary school. Because people used to buy me food. Especially like two of my
Sweet
juniors, they
boy.
really liked me. They really liked me and they always bringing stuff to me. And I don't think I even used to eat that much. Like, so I was always saving money. So I always
Hmm.
liked the idea of having money. Like, it was just a cool thing to always have money. When people needed money and they could come to me and I could just borrow them 2,000. Even my mom, like, then I remember there was a time I was able to give her up to 10,000 there.
Damn.
And it felt really good. Like, I always wanted to be that guy with money. And interestingly, so there's this guy on the street after my street, Erad, honorable mention. That's like my Egbon Adugbo. That is my brother
Okay.
now. Like we call ourselves brothers. Like people, his friends think I'm his brother. My friends think he's my cousin. I'm sure you know him, the guy that I always speak about,
Oh.
Erad. I say he's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
cousin. We are not actually related, but now I don't
Damn.
think relate. You are only related to people by blood
Nah.
because
Definitely
he's
not.
he's more of a cousin to me than some of my actual cousins. You get a brother actually. So
Yeah.
then remember BlackBerry was the thing then. So he had a BlackBerry Touch. He had a what's it called? He had a BlackBerry Touch. He had a PSP. Then all those
Okay.
things they were new, and I was like, damn, like I want to be like this guy. Like I want to be, I want to be a big boy in quotes. Like I really want to be a big boy. And
Damn.
so I wasn't talking to him then, but my mom and his mom were close. So we were just on the eye level. Then I told my mom that she should please make the introduction. I really like to know what he's doing.
Hmm.
Thankfully, he wasn't a street boy in a sense. It wasn't his source of income wasn't illegal because I bet you not if his source of income was illegal, there is a very high chance I would have dropped my own training and followed his path. Do you get?
Hmm.
So thankfully, what he does was he makes t-shirts. So he designs on his computer, then put those things on t-shirts. Then he had like a website that he
Yeah.
sells all of those things on. And the bulk of so it was the one that even taught me like everything I knew about business. was the one that made me understand that you don't have to do everything yourself. So what we do is we design, we buy the t-shirts, then we don't even print ourselves. We have guys that we pay like some small money to help us print, and they help us print. So that was how I didn't even have a system. So I tried, as I said, my mom introduced me to him. We started talking, then he told me he did graphic design. Then he just put me through everything. Even the
Hmm.
first system I used in Yabatek, then in Y City, it was a system. That was the system I was
Damn.
using to learn how to do Corel Draw. So if you can remember, I had this popular. That was like the first shirt I print. WB. It was like a flip of the Warner Brothers logo, and I
Yeah,
put
yeah,
Worry
yeah.
Boy or something. I can't remember. Yeah, it was a very popular. It was a shirt that I used to wear, and everybody was always asking. And it was just interesting that like when you wear t-shirt, interesting t-shirt, it really sparks conversations. I was like, okay, there's a thing here. That's when I now started coming up with like words, like interesting words from lyrics and music lyrics and different stuff, just different like buzzwords, and I put them on shirts, add a splash of interesting graphic on them, and people were buying it, and I was like, oh, okay, and that's how I started making money. That's how I
Oh,
was able to cater for myself a bit in school.
yo, that
I was able to cater for
Erad,
myself in school. Yes.
shout out to you, man. Like
Yeah.
you,
Shout out to Era.
because not a
Yes.
lot of people get to have that experience of somebody who
Yeah.
just kind of puts them through, takes them on,
Yeah.
and just basically mentor them into, especially when it's something that you can make money
Exactly.
from. Especially when it's something that
Exactly.
is
Like no.
lucrative. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And
And
for
it's a
him to
thing
have
about it.
just
There's something about the Nigerian culture that so when you ask people like so I'm because I'm always a curious person, I always want to know how people make money. And it's not trying to I just feel there's a bit to learn from different processes. I
oh
just
yeah.
always want to know how people make money. And there's a thing in Nigeria, people don't reveal how they make money. And I don't understand that culture. And thankfully, because I had Erad, like he actually played a big role in the pathway my life took. Do you
Hmm.
understand? Like if I didn't learn graphic design, then I won't be a product designer now. Do you understand? Like all of this started from him teach. I remember the first thing I designed was the first bank logo. No, was it the logo or the ATM card? He just gave me the first bank ATM card and he was like, if you can replicate this, you're a designer. I was like, oh wow.
Damn.
I did everything. And he showed me, okay, which is the model I used to teach people how to design. I just teach you the tools. Like it's just this is the square, this is the rectangle, this is how to
Yeah,
turn it
it's
into
it's
a
it's
curve.
it's the
The
saying
shapes
that
that make things.
instead of you giving somebody fish, teach them how to fish.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
damn. That's
So
yo.
that's
Cause
that's how I became. It is an
I I actually remember that Worry Boy shirt.
yeah. I remember it was a black. I used to wear it.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was a
Cause
black. I
yo, that
think it was
was
either a black or a navy blue shirt with a yellow print. It was a yellow
so
print.
then so then did you consider, because I know one popular thing that happens even here in the US is once people go into business or once they start some entrepreneurial endeavor and it's becoming successful, usually they just kind of, actually when they're also in school, it's very
Yeah.
popular. I don't know if it's common or not, but they just stop school. They be like, I'm making money now, education is out the way, let me go hustle this thing and make it big. But you didn't stop school. So what
Oh,
was the
so
was it your parents? Was it your parents?
no, so interestingly, how would I say it? So my mom was sort of relaxed. Like
Yeah.
I really like that style of parenting. She made us
Hmm.
realize from the onset that whatever you do is yours. Like you're not going to school because of me. You don't pass in school because of me. In Yoruba, she say, "Biti mo ba temi de ni mo wa yi." Do you understand? Like, how do I translate this?
Hmm.
I feel like it will lose the meaning if
Uh.
I say it in English. It
Well,
means
if it's
like
more
all I
back
have
then,
done all they more ones. So basically, all I have done is what brought me to where I am now. So if
yep.
you do less, you meet yourself where you want to meet yourself. If you do more, you meet yourself in a better place. So that always
Yep.
just stuck with me, and I just realized that I'm not doing anything for anybody. Like you're literally doing everything for yourself. And
True.
when I was in school, like I just feel like there's a time for everything. I was able to realize that, and thanks to Era too, it exposed me to reading books.
Hmm.
So I'd learned about the law of attraction, and maybe because of my Christian background, I deployed faith in everything I did. Or God was able to put faith in my heart to go through some of the certain things I went through. So like I just knew I had to. So I knew I could not fail in school, not from
Okay.
a intelligence but not because I was intelligent or something. I just knew like God won't let me fail. And because I am
Yeah.
like at that point I was young, the only thing I had to like school was more important than making money at that point for me. To get like how much did I really need? I just needed money to buy new jeans, new shirts. Like
Yeah, and I'm
I
sure
was
at that
ambitious,
point you were
but like I
just
wasn't
you were happy just exploring and seeing what happens.
exactly.
Like it was amazing to see that, and you know, there's always a thing about I, I would I would say most one of the initial motivations for people that are going into entrepreneurial or trying to do things. One of the big things is make money, like you fairly stated.
Yeah.
You know, people say, "Oh, something you're passionate about and all that jazz," but it's like, well, we know you want to make money.
So I have an opposing statement to that. So I
Oh,
believe
really?
when you get paid for anything, the passion is zapped out of it. So like I enjoy solving
Hmm.
problems, which is what led me to product design, and I really enjoy my job. Like even how do I explain? So I enjoy it, but I feel like I would enjoy it more if I wasn't paid for it and I was selecting the project. So like I'm at the point where I can't select project because I'm freelance. I'm a freelance designer. I don't have like a nine
Yeah.
to five. I work project by project, and you want to ensure that your finances are good.
Yeah.
So
You take
even
in
when
clients.
the projects you don't enjoy the project or the client is making the project difficult for you, you just endure because at the end of the day you're trying to make the money. So it doesn't
True.
make it fun.
Hmm.
Like you are not in charge of, or maybe it's the kind of clients I've been working with. Because so as much as design is data driven, there are some things that you just use intuition. There are some things you just know it would work. You might not be able to entirely explain, which is why you experiment. Do you understand? You are
Yeah.
not 100% sure it will, but like you want to try, but the client is telling you, no, let's do this. And I'm like, no, I'm the expert. Yeah, like I don't just find it interesting. I would like to select the problems. I wish I didn't have to think about money, and
Damn.
I just sit down and I'm like, I think that's when passion. That's when you can say you're passionate about something. When you can just sit down and just look at a problem and think about it and try to solve it. And if it doesn't work, you try again. Like you're not bothered about money. I feel like money takes the fun of
I
out of
mean,
exploring your passion.
see, I get what you're saying. All right, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. That's a fantastic point of like, if you didn't have to deal with. In fact, I would argue that I think it's the people that you have to deal with, not just the money. Because
yeah,
I would think if the people remove their input or they're trying to control your process, even with you won't have
yeah,
issues with the money.
yeah.
Because
No, of course, yeah.
it's when someone is like, oh, no,
So
no,
let
no,
me
let me do
reframe.
this way.
Let me reframe. What I mean is that it usually gets to a point where you're like, nah, like yeah, let me just do it for the money and don't stress me. Do you understand? Like
Yeah,
just pay me and let me go. And like I don't even want the back and forth anymore because like it
yeah,
just for me it takes the fun out of it because you cannot. So how do I explain? So which is why I would eventually build my own products. Do you
yeah.
understand? And of course, listen to people's opinion. Do you understand? And take those people's opinion and
Okay,
make a decision out of like the different opinions that they've created. Yeah,
yeah,
like so I'm not saying I don't enjoy listening to people. Because I what's it called? I lead sessions. So
mm-hmm.
like I am very open to listening to people's ideas. But like what makes things fun is interesting is the ability to experiment. So like you see how you used to do this like face to face, but like it's more interesting the fact that we are trying this for the first time.
I know, right?
If you
Because
were so
yeah,
if you were paid to do this and like they won't even let you experiment with this. Some people won't let you experiment with it. They'll be like, no,
yeah,
let's just do what works. Let's just do what works. And
yeah,
the fact that we are doing this is fun for me. So like I've
yeah.
never even used this continuity camera, but like I'm using it for the first time and I'm like, okay.
And
Like the fact that you can work
I see your
without
point.
restrictions.
I see your
Yeah,
point. It's just like those movies because I haven't worked in a real lab. I've seen movies where the scientist is like, "Yo, these corporate people that are funding me are holding me back because they don't want me to
exactly.
fully experiment and explore,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know, where I want to be." And then they try to find corners to. Yeah, I get your point there. I get your point there.
Which
But
is so you can even relate it to music. You can even
yeah,
relate it to music because you realize that
hmm,
people's sound. So even Davido experienced the same thing when he was signed to I don't know which. Let's not mention. He was signed to like an international record label, and that was like his creativity was stifled. Do you understand? They wanted him to sound the
hmm,
kind of way he had to come back home. because they were with the money, they were trying to control him. But David ran home. So even
Yeah.
Wizkid, if you notice, Wizkid's sound from the other side, it was an album sponsored by a
Yeah.
global, was it called record label. That was not the Wizkid we knew, and that's not the Wizkid we know now.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They
Yeah.
try to control, as a
True.
creative or as a person, you should be able to just come and express yourself the way you want to express yourself. And people, if they people, the interesting that some people like it, some people don't like it, whatever way
Oh,
it
that's
goes.
that's
But
a
at least you know
fact
you're
of life.
expressing your true self. You
Huh.
know you're expressing your true self. Do you understand? It's not
True.
you're not trying to people with money are not trying to make you sound some kind of way. Do you get?
I definitely get your point there. I definitely get your
Yeah.
point there. And that's
Yeah.
true. Damn. I, thank you for that perspective. Now, you see, this is why I like to, because so if we're going into, yo, we have so much. I'm definitely gonna have you back for sure because there's so much I want to
And
cover.
anytime, bro.
Because apart
Anytime, bro.
from the story we have together that we share,
We'll
like,
still even do. We should do the crunch fix one.
bro,
We will do that. We will do
yo,
that today.
yeah, because of the Zoom thing, I have to take a break actually now. So
Okay, sure.
let's just take a
I even
break
need to
now.
plug in. I need to plug in my phone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll take a break now, and then we'll be back on the Niger conversation. Okay, we're back on the Niger conversation. I'm here with Topha. But now, we've had some background on what got you into being a businessman, going to become a big business mogul by the grace of God, because I need
Amen.
one of my friends to have a big yacht. So maybe that'll be you. You know, when I come to
Hopefully,
Nigeria,
I pray
I
to
want
be
to
the
live
one.
large when I come to Nigeria. So one of
I
my
pray to be
friends,
one of your friends. Hopefully, all
hey,
of us should have like
bro,
maybe
no, no, no,
you have a jet, I have a yacht.
bro, that's how it's supposed to be. But so now, yeah, let's talk about the uh, Crunch Fix story, right? And
Yeah.
once we do that, then I'm going to talk about being in Nigeria since you've started your journey in doing business, in schooling, and then navigating that with
Mm,
the whole being in Nigeria, because that's a whole thing by itself that I cannot
mm,
fathom what that is like because I obviously came to the US to school, but I want to also hear about because I knew about the things that were going on and all that stuff. So I'm curious to know like how you were able to navigate all that and still be successful and find your way through it.
mm.
But the Crunch Fix story, yeah, you can tell the Crunch Fix story.
Okay. So let me start from the origin.
Wait, also get
So
get
I did
closer because I think you moved back a bit,
okay.
like
So I
physically.
changed because I'm trying to charge. I flipped my camera.
No, no, no,
Okay,
because
I have another.
I want us to look. Okay, yeah, that is better now because you kind of were low on
Okay.
the frame. That's good now. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So I had to start from the origin. So how the idea was birthed, I think it was when we were doing internship.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think you were at
PwC.
PwC.
Yeah.
I was at 40 oil. I was at 40 oil. People pronounce it 40 oil, but it was 40 oil. That was how we taught us
Photo,
to pronounce
Jerry.
it. Yeah, it was 40. It was 40 oil.
Yeah.
So I used to work at the head office. Then I moved to one of the depots, the one at our papa. So I did it. So I was doing IT support. So I was moving around, and so I met with a lot of people. I
Hmm.
was able to understand people's personal, because as much as I was there to solve people's corporate needs, but sometimes they bring their personal problems
Yeah.
to me, and I just want to solve problems, to be very honest. So I was always excited. I think the first time I touched the MacBook, someone brought it, was having a problem with email, and I always wanted to see a MacBook. I know just when I bring it, I'll be able to help you solve it. I did,
Wow.
of course, I couldn't do it in his presence because I
Yeah.
wanted to express what I felt like to hold the MacBook. So I took it back to my office. I had my desktop with Google on one side. With YouTube, I use YouTube most of the time. With
You thank
YouTube
God
and
for
his
Google and
laptop,
YouTube,
I was
man.
trying to, bro, like he really helps most of it because most of the things we learned were
Yo.
not from school; they were from they were from YouTube. So through that, as I said, so they used to bring like their personal problems, and I realized there was a pattern that these were rich people and they were busy people, and most rich people are usually very busy. They don't have time for menial jobs. You understand? So when their phone spoils, what they usually do is either buy a new phone. So when like maybe their screen cracks, they either buy a new phone or if it's during the weekend, they send
Mm-hmm.
maybe one of their cousins or their driver or something to go fix it. And this one's it's usually too expensive because this one's trying to take advantage of it.
Ah,
So I was like,
yeah.
oh, this is interesting. This is a very smart idea. What if I bring the repairers to them? Okay, no. So then there was this other guy. There was this other guy. I can't remember his name now. Oh shit, I never forget people's names.
Who? Like one of
Uh,
us that was doing it, or one of
no,
you?
no, 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 no. One of the staffs
Oh,
at
okay.
Hotel. So there was a day his screen smashed. Then he just called a repairer. Then the guy brought a new screen and he fixed it right there. Another thing I noticed about rich people is that most of the information on their phone are highly confidential.
Oh yeah.
So they don't want to lose it and they don't want to leave it in the hands of anyone. So they always want it to be, they want the repair to be highly supervised. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, all of this is connecting. I'm like, what if I bring, they don't have time to go to the repairer and they don't even want to send someone to the repairer because they are scared some of their information would,
Yeah.
they will lose some of their information because they are confidential. They want other people to see it. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, this is interesting. What if I bring the repairer to them? So that
Yeah.
was how countries bettered. Then
Yeah.
I did some more because I went to Ikeja. So it's basically like, so one of my favorite business models is the middleman model. Why? Because in the middleman model, so basically what Uber does, you bring the
Mm-hmm.
drivers, you connect them, you're literally connecting people. And I was like, okay, this is smart. Uber has done it. They were literally connecting the drivers to the passengers and
Yeah.
they were getting a commission off of it. Why can't we do that for repairers?
Yeah.
Then I went to the repairers in Ikeja. We got a couple of them. I think that was so. Immediately that idea came. We now after IT we came to school like, okay, which of my friends can I do this with? Which of my friends can I do this with? I was like, okay, Joshua, let's get Joshua on board. Then I called Joshua because Joshua was very hands-on on computer. Joshua
Yo.
always solved our computer problem. And I remember it used to be our plug for anytime we wanted to download games. I think we
Ah,
had like
games, movies, every
fiber.
yo.
Exactly. You just help us get it. So I was like, nah, Joshua has to be on this. Then we got Spirit and Toby.
Yeah,
We used to
spirits.
call him Spirit.
Ah, it's
Yeah.
the
We
spirits.
got so
Yeah,
we
I need to have
got
him on
Toby. We
too.
got Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. You should honestly. So it was me, you, and your Spirit. So that was how we started. Of course, I think Joshua left us. He broke our heart.
No, but
I
you
went to the
forgot that.
US.
Oh, looking back now, honestly, right? I think one of the first things we have done is like to get like a mentor, someone who was like this. We should have taken
Yeah.
advantage of the CC hub in Yaba.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
someone people, we
Yeah.
should have gone to someone like and be like, yo,
Yeah.
mentor us in this thing, and because
Yeah.
and we thought of it, right? We were like, yo, we need to work on this. We were meeting, we were trying to do, but some way somehow things fell to the crack,
So,
and
so
then
I think, oh God. So let me even bust your brain. Joshua, I remember like, we were supposed to have the arm of conflicts that was supposed to do tech reviews.
yep.
Tech reviews was not in MKHDB was the only tech. There was no Nigerian tech reviewer. To the best of our knowledge, because this was
Yeah,
as far back as
like
this was
2013,
2013,
14. Yeah,
14. There was no one like I'm not trying to drag anybody, but them Fisayo and the guys
yeah.
that are
They
doing
were,
tech review now, I
yeah,
don't think they were, even if they were doing it, they were not popular. And we kind of had like a structure where like we had proper business model. Like we were going to make shit out of money. We were going to
yeah. I don't
make
like to
shit
think
out of
about
money.
those
But
things sometimes, but
no, no, but I think so. I've identified the problem. So the problem we had is that me, you, and Toby were too similar in our. So three of us were creatives. Do you understand? We were idea people. We were not executors, which is
yeah,
one of the things I've. So anybody that's going, so I can function as maybe as I'm not necessarily a CEO, but like I'm an innovation slash ideas person. Like I would always make things better. Like I'm not bragging, but like I know I
yeah.
would always. I'm the kind of person that
Improvements.
always wants to make things improvements. But in terms of I can bet ideas, I can tell people how to do it, but I get bored easily. Do you understand? Like I want to jump on the next thing. So
Yep.
I would. So once we finish this and someone is executing that, I already know how to make it better. But of course, the solution I provide now it will suffice for now. But like you cannot use today's solution for tomorrow. So like, and I'm always thinking in the future. So our kind of and me, you and Spirit were like that. We
Yeah.
were always improving it. We could not come up with an MVP. Our idea needed to be really solid. We needed
And
someone to be working on the initial part of it.
we, yeah, the
Yes, and someone
MVP.
that would have gone to market with the MVP
Yep,
and
because we
would have
kept trying
tested it,
to.
would have done.
We kept trying to
We kept trying to
improve.
improve it.
Like, oh,
We
what
were
about
building
this? What
stuff.
about this? Ah, this thing will
We
be
added
cool. What?
insurance.
Yeah.
Exactly. We built. And should I bust your brain?
Uh,
There's no one that like I can confidently. There's no one that is doing it as we thought
yeah.
of it
Yeah.
till now. Like there is no one because we were going to do insurance.
Yeah. At
Because
that time.
no, let's not- like
Yo, we can still do it though.
because
I'm not even joking
we
because
can.
yo,
The idea
we'll
is the
revisit some
idea is
of
still
those
highly
things.
variable. Like it's still
Yeah.
highly variable because
Yo.
no one the kind of structure we had, the business models we had, the different things we are going to bring together, like to make it juicy. Like
Yeah.
and that's because we were thinking in the future, bro. Like we literally were, and that was our problem because people would have even seen us as mad people if we were discussing all these things.
Yo, we
Because we were
had
telling
some
people that,
supply
bro,
chain.
we're saying,
Oh my god.
bro. I was saying that we were going to control the tech market because we're going to be reviewing. Like now, we're going to take all the money in our bags, bro.
Man. So, but that was
We're
the
going to
crunch
take
fix
all the money in
story.
our bags.
Well,
Yeah,
obviously, we did eventually do that when I moved to the US like this the
yeah.
following year, and we didn't end up doing that. And but we've kept in touch and everything. And I went on also to have 500 more ideas than ever left my laptop. But that's one of the biggest challenges though, because I definitely think coming up with stuff and ideas is kind of the easy part. The the
Yeah,
hard part is the executing it and getting it to market or getting it to your client or producing it and
yeah.
making it to a product, which
So I
you
think
have done in multiple areas, especially in fashion and your design. And
okay.
no, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, no, so I was going to say one of the challenges we have is people and how would I explain it? So because I've been able to identify myself, I never
Mm,
want to work on anything alone. So I always try to find people that would match up my energy. So I want people that can execute, people that can bring ideas to life.
yeah.
I can generate ideas, of course, with input from other people. But I want to work with, I want to always partner with people that can say, okay, so far now, let's do this. Do you understand? And they do go ahead and do it. I don't even need to be a part of it. Do you
Mm.
understand? I can be a part of it, but like I don't need to be a part of it. We share. Like I'm willing to let go of percentages and all of that. You get? Because I don't even see myself
That's
like
interesting
I don't see
because you
myself the
say
entire.
this, and I'm sure people will be like, "Oh no, it's talking about you've worked for free before."
Exactly, exactly. Because
Because
like ultimately, I've
it's
identified me as much
there's
as I
so
want to
much
make
things
money.
clicking in my head right now. Like, huh, that's
Exactly.
interesting. Because I didn't know
Yeah.
you were
So as
that like I don't know if it's I don't want to call it passion, but you felt that way about what you do. Because
yeah,
you've already been an entrepreneur, but you saying that and saying it again, I was like, yeah, I remember there's a time you were working. There's a time you left a freaking job that you didn't like and you just started your own. Yo, I
yeah.
mean, there's like 10 episodes with just you, my guy.
Anyways,
But
speaking
that
of it now, because I've never thought of it, I think I've actually had an interesting life.
Yeah, because everything is just clicking. I'm like, yo, I
Okay.
remember that time. I was like, yo, Topha, are you sure? Because we were making good money there. You're like, man, this is stress. I was like, yo, man, I was in school then trying to pass homework and exams. But what I want to go into now is adding the Niger factor to it because one of the best things I think that's happened to Nigerian economy in the past decade is technology and how
Yeah.
young people or just people period have taken the control from trying to wait for the government or trying to wait for some savior to come and bring the opportunities. Like I think people have been just going for those opportunities and finding them wherever they were and just making things happen. And
Yeah.
that's why Nigeria today is the biggest tech hub in Africa and is
Yeah.
moving into the world too. Nigeria is becoming a big player in tech by virtue of the people that are pushing it, and you are one of those people that have just made things happen regardless of the situation going on in the country.
Yeah.
So what can you share some of your biggest challenges and how you think or what the things that you think have helped you navigate trying to run a business? Because I
Okay.
know I've known people that are trying to run a business, but like when you're dealing with infrastructure problems, resources, you're not getting
Yeah.
hit from the government because here one of the big things that help businesses out is government, a lot of
Yeah,
government backdoor things that help people. But you
yeah,
know, without all those extra things, you are one of you that's still
yeah.
successful in what you're doing. So I want you to share some things about that and what how personally you've been able to navigate that and
Mm,
what the challenges have been and how you know you're still finding success in all
mm,
that.
Okay. So firstly, like I think all of our courses in Nigeria is what makes it a blessing too. So I
Hmm.
would explain. So like the fact that there are a lot of problems in Nigeria, it means there are a lot of solutions that could be created. And thanks to technology. So tech is just something that enables us to create solutions. Do you get? So like
Mm-hmm.
so let's look at the story of Uber. People needed so I like let's use Uber because I really like Uber's strategy or their business model. So if you remember when we were younger, to get a cab, our parents would tell us to go to the bus stop.
Yeah.
You will now go and bring a cab. You will now bring the cab to your house. You would have negotiated the price. Maybe you will negotiate 1,000 naira. You now bring them to the house. Your mother will now say no, it's 800 she wants to pay. You understand?
Yep.
Sometimes the man might agree or you might not. You have to go back to the bus stop. So what technology did is it helped us solve that problem. Like why can't you just stay at home and you order it? You see the price there. You understand? If you are comfortable with it, the person comes to your house and picks you. So basically, there are problems, and
Hmm.
technology helps us solve it. And in Nigeria, there are a lot of problems. You would be surprised on how people make money. Do you understand? Like
Hmm.
it's just solving. So let me give you an instance. So there's something called buy power. So basically, and I know this person, like I met him once, and so basically, he helps people to buy electricity online, and he charges 100 naira.
Really
Yeah, per transaction. That's why I used to buy electricity. It's called buy power. So every time
interesting.
you charge it. So I am just like I know I think then we were speaking. He said about they have about 5 million monthly users.
Damn.
So that's 500 million easy money per in Nigeria. 500 million easy money per month, like easy money. And all he's just doing is he's just so there are other solutions, but his was the quickest. It was the easiest to just put in your card and put in your pin and bam, you already have like your light units. Yeah. So and there are lots of problems in Nigeria that you don't need math solutions for. Okay, like there are plenty problems. Like there are so many problems. You just have to
Hmm.
think of one problem and look for how you use tech to solve it.
Hmm.
Do you understand?
But then I
So, but
okay,
then
sorry.
there are still some. Yeah. So there are still some infrastructural problems in Nigeria. Like we don't have good road, bro. We don't have good road. Then how do I say this? So I think the mentality of the people, God, like it can be annoying sometimes. To find good people in Nigeria is really difficult. So
Hmm.
have people that are problem oriented, that are solution oriented, that just want to solve problems. You get that forget so like I wish I could create or pay people enough for them to never think of money. Because I feel
Right.
like money pollutes things. So like I want to get people that really want to that are passionate. Not so I don't like using the word passionate, that actually just want to solve the problem. So you see a delivery guy and like your job is to get the parcel to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Of course,
Yeah.
challenges may come, but ensure you get the parcel to the person. But you see people and they're like, "Oh, they didn't pay me enough for this one," and that's what happens when
Yeah,
you pay
that
people when you
happens.
don't pay
Yo,
people
that
enough
happens
for
here
stuff.
too, especially with tips.
Eh,
People be like,
yeah,
"Oh, you didn't tip
exactly.
me enough." They're like, "What? You got paid?"
Yeah, so there's the people. Then the government doesn't make it easy. But I think, as I said, all of those courses come as a blessing because as a Nigerian entrepreneur, you're thinking on your feet. Like you know things are about
Hmm.
to change. So when you have a good situation, you know it's not lasting forever. You're thinking of you. Well, I don't know if most people think of it like, but that's how I think of it. Like I'm like, okay, this won't last. Let's make as much as we can from this, but let's think of what happens when it goes bad. Like, so everybody's on their feet. Like,
Hmm.
you're not shocked. You're not shocked as in Nigeria
Yo,
because,
I remember that. You know that motorcycle guy in that was in Lagos,
okay, go Kada.
the Okada. I was when I saw how the government just packed up that. I mean, was it? I mean, I wasn't in the country, but was it that bad? What was what they did? Because when I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. They just shut down that
Yeah,
guy's business. Boom, gone, done.
overnight.
And I was like,
Overnight.
sheesh. Like I can't imagine somebody that because once an idea is picking up, There's always competition.
Yeah.
There's always somebody do like, you
Yeah.
know what? How can I make this better? How can I do this with freaking tricycles? You know, there's probably
Or
someone
bicycles.
thinking,
Yeah.
oh yeah, or even bicycles, and then you see that happen. You're like, oh, crushed.
Bro.
Yo, so I can. So
Bro.
those are the kind of things I'm like, I can't imagine what it would be like trying to solve, because business problems are already complex enough. You're
Yeah.
trying to navigate your supply. If you're dealing with product, you're trying to navigate your processing, you're trying to navigate your
Yeah.
production, your output, you're trying to navigate pricing, you're trying to navigate dealing with clients to get money, you're trying to navigate your customers. If
Yeah.
God let help you, if you have to collaborate with people to make that all that happen, then
Yeah.
there's also logistics in getting your product around.
Logistic is really hard for business owners in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like
Then if you now have to
it's a big
include
problem.
the government on your back, potentially just crashing all that down for whatever
Bro.
reason,
Bro.
it's
Let
so
me even
much
give you a personal.
problems.
Let me give you a personal experience. So now I've had to, so for like immediately they hike the price. I just stopped using generators, and I told clients that
Hmm.
if you want, if you want to get your clothes in a week, you have to pay for it. Like you have to pay extra for it because I would have to go get them and buy for.
Yeah.
So now, like so everybody's job is in a queue. So it is only when there is light. And as you
Damn.
know, we don't have 24 hours light. But thankfully, it's been better because the fuel price it went by 3.75. It went times 3.75. Yeah, it used to be one. And if my math is correct, it used to be 180 something. Then it went to 540, bro, in the middle of the night.
Like that's ridiculous.
Like we were not prepared for it, and we already had jobs in processing that we had to complete,
Like
and we had given them delivery dates. So doing like with that batch, we literally did not make profit.
like imagine having to deal with that kind of volatility that is not coming from you or your process. It's an external thing that is like you have no control over.
Exactly,
Because how do you
exactly.
try to solve that problem? Well, what are you gonna do? Like overnight,
Bro.
a major expense just tripled in price.
Yeah.
I
Like
that's
things just keep moving. Yeah, you have, as I said, you have to just keep thinking on your feet because
hmm.
things don't stay the same. Like bro, it's always changing. It's always
But
changing.
I do see how you say the the causes are also the blessings, because yes, that gets you tough and that gets you very flexible. That improves
Yeah,
your resilience, and now you deal
yeah,
with external factors. And this is one thing I'm grateful for, and I hope that I'm sure I'm praying now as my as this pod gets bigger and more people have access to it, I will expand it into not just having this conversation, but connecting people. Because
mm,
one of the biggest thing I know is having to, if the more you deal with, or that I assume would help people in Nigeria, especially business people, is if you can have foreign business.
yeah,
Because I believe that that would definitely offset some of the domestic things, because of that exchange rate will offset some of the, and then you can still make significant profit, and then it's still worth
yeah.
your time. So I'm hoping I can, once I get more people, talk to more people, then people can start connecting with each other, and I don't have to make connection. They can start, hey, I saw this guy, he said he does this thing, let me hit him up, let me connect, because yo,
See why I'm smiling?
if
Like, you remember why were you? I don't know if you noticed the big smile on my face because
yeah.
like my head is actually in that direction. So there was something we did again. Apparently, we had done a lot of things
Yo,
together.
you
So
remember
remember
Clubhouse?
Folio, remember Folio.
Yeah, Folio. Oh my God, Folio.
Exactly, exactly. So like I'm working on Folio now. Like Folio is definitely coming back.
Yeah,
So
yo,
I feel like it is unfair. So how would I explain it? Because I'm a Christian, I'll bring religion to it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like I
dude,
feel
please
it's
do.
unfair. It is unfair for me not to bring. I feel like God has put folio in my heart. Of course, He would have put in some other people's heart, but it's unfair for me not to bear it out to the world the
Yeah,
way I see it. Because as much as it might make me some money, but like it is going to help a lot of
the
people.
value.
I'm talking about the people. So like so even VCs, that's a big thing for them. They want to ensure that founders are compatible, like people, the right people meet each other. Like,
Yep.
and I tell people are like puzzles. You just need to find. the people that fit into your own puzzle, because people are just imperfect in their own way, but
Yeah.
they fit into your own puzzle. You know how the puzzle thing is now.
Yeah, the
It just
jigsaw, it
fits.
fits. You have to
Yeah, the
find
jigsaw.
the right, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So like, which is what Folio is going to be. It's going to bring. I don't know if I should say
No,
all
no,
of
no,
this
no,
on the
no. I
pod.
mean, yo, no, 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 no. Don't need to go into details for that because since that's a project
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
ongoing and
So, but
possibly, yeah.
like we'll get on the call on it, because like we're already actually
That's
building
good, man.
something.
That yo, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
rooting for,
you know the
yeah,
problem we had the last time, it wasn't self-sustaining. So we want to build it as a platform that will sustain itself.
yeah,
That everything is automated. The pairing is automated. We don't have
yeah,
to do it via Slack and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because it really worked. Because there were people that joined from all over the world. I was looking at it.
yeah.
Like it was interesting. Like, because we already tested it. We already have like an MVP. We tested it and it worked.
True.
And some of the people, like, it's beautiful to see that some of the people that started on Folio, they've gone ahead to have a design. Like, so there was someone that came to me personally, and she wanted to come into design. And I was like, okay, I'm going to teach you, but like, there's nothing as interesting as teaching you as working on a project with me. So we
Oh
worked
yeah.
on a project, like an imaginary project, and now she's a big
That's
girl in design.
that's
Do you
amazing,
understand?
man.
So she's testimonial for Folio. Do
That's
you
amazing.
understand? Do you understand? And that's what I want for you to be able to do. That's what I wanted to be able to do. So would have a conversation
Yo, and
of the
see, and
pod.
that's one of the things why you're a role model to me because the ability to conceive something and then go for it. You're like the number one person that I know personally. Yeah, we know the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Elon Musks, but I don't freaking care. I don't really know those people, but I know Topha. So, so that, and I hope anyone that watches this, you can find somebody in your neighborhood. They don't have to be doing the most glamorous stuff, but try to see the value in what they do. Of like, is this person creating? Is this person innovating? Is this person solving problems? Like I've like there's local artisans and like mechanics and carpenters that they do some interesting things because and you just kind of overlook it because like, what are they doing? But if you take a closer look, you'd be like, yo, these people are actually if they were not here in this and if they take the same thing they did and export it, it's gonna be big. So I hope anybody watching can find those people around you and just learn and see the value in them and try to capture as much as you can. Like to today, I'm still going to be learning from you, Topha, and I'm still going to be seeing value in what you do, and it's amazing to me. And I appreciate that the way your mind is, and I've learned something now about you that solving problems and creating value is more important to you than actually the gains that come of it. Me
I like the
personally,
games too. I like the money though.
yeah,
I
but
actually
but,
really
but
like
in
money.
comparison, no, no, no. That, I'm not gonna say yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I
you
get.
made it clear that the act of solving the problem itself, and
Yeah,
I don't know if it
it's
was
it's
Elon.
what keeps you going.
I don't know if it was Elon that even said this that when people are trying to
By the way,
create something,
I'm a big Elon Musk fan.
bro.
Like I
When
love
people are
Elon
trying to,
Musk.
he said, I think he said when people are trying to create something that they tried to, that if they concentrated on the product and they create a good product, that if the product is good,
Yeah,
you will get it to people, and then by that,
they'll
people will
give you all
pay
their
you for
money.
it.
Yeah,
It's like people forget that it's the product that brings the money and not the other way around.
yeah.
Like, oh, you get a bunch of money and then you create this product. So, man, I
And the
really,
product is definitely something that always solves people's problems.
yep,
However, the problem is framed. It might not be
yeah,
framed as a problem, but the
yeah,
product is something that relieves people of some certain sort of pain. So I just wanted to add something to the advice you were giving earlier.
yeah,
So also for people that birth ideas. So I think you're advising the other people. So
yep,
people that should notice people that are creating. So other people that also create, be willing to, like, how do I explain? Like, as I said, the way my mind works, I don't think I can do one thing at a time. So I'm always willing to. I still even call David. I was still disturbing when we were in Lagos. So I had like an interesting idea. And I'm like, bro, David, you can bring this to life. Like, I'm willing to share. And I'm like, bro, it was like, do I have money to pay? I'm like, bro, I don't have money to pay you. Like, what else?
David,
You're a big boy.
I'll bring
I,
David down too.
and I was like, I was like, what we are going to do is I'll give you a percentage for 5 years.
Yeah,
You get like, so we wanted to build the stuff as a product, then we will co-own it. So
mm-hmm.
just be able to share
No,
like percentage of your ideas, I think the potential money that will come from it, because there's something they
Was not
said.
Jay-Z that said I would rather own 10% of something than
Exactly.
100% of nothing
ten
or something
percent.
like that,
So 10. So let me even put it in figures. So 10% of a billion.
bro.
10% of a billion is 100 million, and 100% of 100,000 is just 100,000, bro. So if you have people that would take your ideas from like 100,000 to a billion, like, bro, just take it. Do you understand? Be
Yeah.
willing to share, and people would always make your ideas better. Like, you are always seeing things, no matter how creative you think you are. You're
Mm.
always seeing things from your own perspective. People come with different perspectives. No matter how stupid the idea is, sit back, relax, and think of it. That, what's this person saying? Like, just be willing to listen to people and be willing to share.
Yeah.
Like, be willing to share. Like, I'm always willing to share, but I don't think people are willing to accept. I'm just literally finding people that are willing to accept my offer, because I'm always coming with interesting deals. Like, I don't when I'm dealing with people, I don't, for the most part, I don't pay people your money. I'm like, so eventually it will lead to money, but I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you get 50% of this.
Even I'm
Like, are you
involved
willing to
with.
do it?
I recently joined this so there's in Milwaukee here. It's an heritage group. I recently joined them because I saw what their vision was, and I was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
I think it's like an event. We organize like an event, like Afro-centric events, just to spread the culture and just spread you know African entertainment to people here. So, there's more to that. I'm butchering heritage, but that's
yeah,
heritage. You can check it out. Heritage in Milwaukee. So I recently joined them, and the way I joined them was I was like, you guys deal with African. We do some parties, some events. I was like, we don't talk to people at these events, right? Like people just come, attend the event, and go. I'm like, what
yeah.
if we start talking to people? I'm like, I just started a podcast, Niger Conversation. This is more Africa centric. I think it would be valuable if I come in and be the guy that talks to people.
Yeah.
So and then I pitched it to a few of them and eventually got the courage to walk up to like the main people and then talk to them and spoke to them and they were also actually thinking about it too. In fact, the guy had come up with like a logo for it, like graphics, like a whole different, and I was like, perfect timing. So I joined them and I was like, this is value that I want to add and I'm happy to be here. So like going for those opportunities and find those opportunities and willing to just
Sure.
do it and share and be like, look, I think this would be because I'm sure if the guy eventually was like, no, we already found somebody, I'd be like, yeah, that's great because my motivation was talk to people and connect to people. It didn't have to be me. But I'm like, if you don't have somebody, I'm already doing this, I can do it. So like that sharing and that collaborating big. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that yo, Topha, I think
And out.
I would have to cut this short today because we both
Yeah.
know. I mean, we've
We can
spoken
keep
for
going. We can
hours
go
or
on and on and
whatever.
on.
Like I've learned about some of your backstory, which is just very small. So real quick, what then are you? I want you to plug in what you're working on, what you think, what you want people to connect with you on right now, and what's just a brief glimpse into what Topher is gonna be. What are you? What
Okay.
is Topher conglomerate? What what's going on? You know?
Okay. So for now, I am a freelance product designer. I'm
Yeah.
a freelance product
So
designer, and
where can people
as I
find you
said,
though? Are you on like a Fiverr
I
or
say,
freelance or contact you directly?
as
Email.
so they should contact me directly.
Okay, I'll
So you
put your
can just put my
contact in there.
email, or you
Yeah,
can put
I'll
my
put
email
a
contact there.
yeah,
So
I'll
there's
put it in the bio.
Instagram. So
Yeah.
basically Instagram, WhatsApp, or email. Yeah, whichever one is fine.
Okay.
Fine for
Okay.
me. And I also what's it called, own a fashion business. So
Yeah.
basically, I have a clothing line. I have a
Yeah.
clothing line. We make really, really nice
I
African
can attest to
wares.
that.
Yeah, yeah. You should add your picture here.
yeah.
Because
Oh yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I've got a lot of customers for, I want exactly that. Like, I've got a
Oh,
lot
for
of
real?
customers
That's how it should be
from
now.
that picture
Yeah.
you sent to me. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
and I'm also working on a couple of So I'm working on Folio too. That's by the side.
Okay.
Hopefully, the thing with David is trying to bring tech into like my clothing brand. Like I wish to share it, but
No, no, no,
I
no, no.
prefer to share with
You
you.
don't have to
I prefer
share
to
that.
share it personally. So, but like
Yeah.
we would take clothing to like a totally different level. Like it's good. We are changing the experience of what
I'm,
it would be like to buy clothes
I'm
and
looking
to
forward
own
to seeing that.
clothes.
I'm looking forward to
Like it's going
seeing
to
that
be a
one
very
day.
beautiful experience. And please cut this and send to David that he should hit me up.
He needs to watch it.
Like he needs to watch it because
I mean,
just
I
cut this
already
part and tell him that the
and see
sooner we
that's
do
another
this,
thing
the
where
sooner we start making money.
like I don't know recently, well not even recently. I've always been like that, but I think I'm now more conscious of it, and I'm willing now to share it and tell people like I the appreciation I have for people, especially when I see people that when I see people that have grown, if like I've experienced that growth with them, because there's something about
Yeah.
oh just seeing somebody big and you're like oh that's a big person, but seeing somebody
Mm-hmm.
go from I'm learning, I'm trying to figure this thing out to okay I know what I'm doing, oh I'm learning more because learning is always going to be there, and like oh I'm not really good at what I do. Like I need to. I already talk to David. I'm gonna bring David on for sure.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
You
but
should.
I'm looking forward to seeing all this because I know there's a lot. I know for sure the future is gonna
And
be bright for
I think
you.
I can't wait. I can't wait for all of us to hang out in some island
Yeah,
on a yacht
in Dubai.
in Dubai. You get me?
But
Like I
yo,
really can. I really
I'm
can't
looking
wait.
forward.
I
I'm
really
looking
can't
forward
wait
to
for it.
that too. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that, and I'm definitely gonna have you on. This is
And same here is also so as much as you've seen me grow, like I've actually seen you grow too. Like
yeah.
it's been interesting to see. Like I still even tell David this that sorry about the noise. I'm by the
Oh
balcony.
yeah,
Like
it's fine.
it's
It's
a bit of
fine.
nice background. Like the last time I spoke with David, there was a time I spoke to him. I was like, man, like we really were just kids, like some few years back. And we didn't know what we were doing with our lives, and like it's just interesting to see. Because even I don't understand how we've gotten here, but like it's interesting to see where we are and
Yeah.
looking at where we are going. It's also very exciting to see that. Like I can visualize where we are going to be, and
Yeah.
it's good to see. It's good to see, bro.
I'm very happy about that. Like I look forward to it, and I'm definitely gonna have you on because I'm pretty sure there's at least I don't know if we've even done up to an hour because 40. So yeah, we've probably done.
Yeah, we've done.
So I'm sure there's like 10 episodes we talk on this. Honestly, like
No
because
problem.
there's
No
just
problem.
so much to talk about, and you're such a big inspiration to me, and I hope you can be an inspiration to people that watch. And I'm going to put your info in the bio and or in the comment captions somewhere. It's gonna be there. People can connect with you
All right, bro.
because that is one of the most invaluable thing you can do is connect with people, pass on knowledge, pass on what you know, and just mentor people. Because, like you said, the folio girl that you just talked about, that story will always be there. That hey,
Yeah.
this you inspire this person, and that person from your inspiration has achieves good success, and they've probably even inspired more people. Like you're basically you don't know you're probably like a grand great father for someone in tech right now, but they will never know, and that's just one of the things. And I really
True.
appreciate you for coming on. Like you are one of the people that is this will not happen if you didn't put your input and your motivation and your inspiration. This would not happen. Literally the logo has your print on it and that will never go away. And even I've been thinking about merch too because a friend of mine was talking about merch and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see
I
that.
got you
I
for
can see
that.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully you get some of the new Topha stuff.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
tech infused.
And
With
we'll
tech
talk.
infused in
We'll
it.
talk. I'm like, yeah,
No
because
problem,
I'm
bro.
thinking of some merch and so I'm like, okay, well, I can work at that. Topher is my guy. So really appreciate you for coming in, finding
The
time.
new tech stuff will really work for you, don't worry. So it will be able to
Okay.
create value for people that are buying your merch. It won't just be the merch.
Yeah.
There will be some value attached to like every merch they buy. Then we'll
Let's
discuss.
go. Hope you can hear. If you want the Topher value, stay connected, man. But
So the Topha value, the Niger conversation value, they'll be getting a bunch of things. Trust me. We'll
I'm
have the
looking forward to
conversation
that. I'm looking
of
forward
this.
to
Yeah.
that, man. Thank you for coming
Yes,
on,
bro.
man. Thank you very much. Really
All right, man.
appreciate it. For willing to
All right,
test
man.
this, because I didn't know how this was going to go. This is the first time trying to do an online conversation. And that's part of the growth and innovation. Because I'm like, I obviously can't get everybody here. I got to be able to meet
Yeah.
people wherever they are and still have this conversation. And I'm happy. This has been great. This has turned out fantastic.